we're back. I'm back with Lammy, my friend, and she's saying hi to everyone. She's excited because this is her favorite time of year. This is her favorite Sunday when we celebrate Easter, right, Lammy? And she is going to help me tell the story today of Easter. So I brought some friends. We have a bunny rabbit right here. See the bunny rabbit? And I have a little duck. And I've got an Easter basket, and I've got an egg. And these are what Easter's all about, right, Lammy? No? Lammy says this is not what Easter's all about. Do you know what Easter's all about? Lammy said Easter's about Jesus. And Lammy's right, isn't she? Well, last time we talked about how Jesus rode a donkey, right? And he was treated like a king on Palm Sunday by some people, right? But then on Friday, what happened on Friday? Yes, that's right, Lammy. On Friday, Jesus was crucified. And we talked about that was Good Friday. But it was sad because the people wanted Jesus dead. They didn't believe that Jesus was the king, that he was the Messiah. They wanted a king with a crown. But Jesus is our King of Kings, right? That's right. And so now we're going to talk about what happened after Jesus died. How many days was it, Lammy? Yes, 3 days. 3 days after Jesus died, something awesome happened, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Easter is what we celebrate, what happened 3 days after Jesus died. We've got some pictures here to help us tell our story. The first one, we have two men talking. And it says, Jesus' friends were sad to see him die on the cross. Joseph was Jesus' friend. Jesus had helped Joseph. Jesus had forgiven Joseph when Joseph was bad. Does Jesus forgive us, Lammy? That's right, he does. We talked about that last week too. Jesus forgives us when we sin if we ask him, doesn't he? And Jesus forgave those people that crucified him too, didn't he? That's right. And so Jesus had forgiven Joseph. This is Joseph. This is not the same Joseph that was Jesus' earthly father. This is another man named Joseph. And when Jesus died, Joseph wanted to show that Jesus had saved him. He asked permission to take Jesus' body from the cross. And Pilate said he could. And this is what he's doing here. He's asking Pilate if he could take Jesus' body off the cross because he loved Jesus and he wanted to take care of his body. And so he got his friend Nicodemus. Nicodemus was a man that loved Jesus too. Jesus had told Nicodemus how to be born again, and Nicodemus helped Joseph take the body of Jesus down from the cross. That's what they're doing. And here they are, and they've got Jesus' body off the cross, and they wrapped his body in a clean linen cloth. Nicodemus put spices on the cloth. Joseph and Nicodemus showed they were glad Jesus forgave them when they were bad. They laid Jesus' body in Joseph's tomb. Here they are, they're carrying Jesus' body to the tomb. They laid Jesus' body in the tomb, and Joseph had cut a little room out of a big rock. That's what a tomb was called. He rolled a huge stone in place to cover the door of the tomb. Joseph gave what he had to honor Jesus after his death. He did what he could to show his love for Jesus. Here they are, they're carrying Jesus' wrapped body into the tomb. Wasn't it nice of them, Lammy, to put Jesus' body in that tomb? It was. They were showing Jesus that they loved him. Well, today is Easter, and we celebrate Jesus' resurrection. And what does resurrection mean, Lammy? That's right. The resurrection of Jesus is Easter, but the resurrection of Jesus is when his body came out of the grave. He had been in the grave for 3 days, or in that tomb for 3 days, but he didn't stay in the tomb, did he? No, he came back to life. He came out of the closed up tomb without any help. Jesus is God, and he had power over death, and he's alive today, isn't he? That's right. Jesus came out of the tomb, he rose from the grave, and many days later, he went back to heaven to be with God. And that's why we celebrate Easter, isn't it? We like to celebrate with bunnies, don't we? And that's okay. And we can celebrate with Easter eggs. We can hunt them. It's fun. And even baby chicks. But you know that these things also represent new life. And that's what Jesus gave to us whenever he rose from the grave. He gave us hope of a new life. And we've got a few crafts that you can do. This one, my little girl actually colored both of them. This one is a cross that looks like stained glass. You can color it however you want to, but then you can cut it up and make it into a puzzle. That's a fun thing to do. And then you can also do an egg like this. And we've got the different colors here that represent different things. Let's talk about that. If you want to make an egg, or even you can do a cross like this, the yellow represents God's perfect light. The red represents the blood Jesus shed for us. The white represents the cleansing of our sins. The green represents the new life we have in Jesus. Blue represents the baptism that is identified with Jesus. And the bottom is purple, and it represents the crown of life. Jesus was royal, and purple was a royal color back then, wasn't it? Okay, so let's talk about Easter a little bit more. Tell me, how many days was it after Jesus died that he rose from the grave? Can you remember, Lammy? Yes, 3 days. Good job. And Jesus raising from the dead, that gives us hope of new life, doesn't it? Good job. Well, I'm glad you all came and we're here to listen to us and talk about Jesus' resurrection. And I hope you all have a good Easter. And remember that Jesus is the reason we can celebrate this wonderful day.